Okay, my guys. Sorry, thank you. Um, I was trying to find the Reddit thread that had the document to get up on my computer. Um, because I have it on another thing, but when I went to Reddit, it says that the person that posted the the differing things on Owens, that her account or his account has been um that his account has been suspended. So that's not up on Reddit anymore. So I'm gonna try to send this attachment. We'll see if it goes through. Hopefully it does. Okay. Let's add. Just 1 second. Sorry. I bombarded my son's room. And so he had to go take his nap elsewhere. All right. So we are presenting slides off on my computer. We are going to bring this up. And let's see. Do y'all know a place to get that document? I should have had all this ready to go, but I didn't because I just figured it would be easy to find, and it's not. All right, let me see if I can like airdrop it or something. Airdrop. I am going to check one more place. One more place. Okay, I'm going to send. Okay, now let me see if I can actually pull it up now. There we go. Yay! Okay. And then accept all. Okay. Let's close those out. Okay, we've got it. Sorry about all that. Let's roll the intro and then we will get started.
Loud little ducky coming through, speaking truth, unabashed, calling out the liars, debunking falsehoods with a blast. I ain't afraid to say what's real, won't ever hold back. Gonna shake the system up, turn it all off track. I see through the smoke, the mirrors in the disguise, expose their hidden agenda. No more room for their lies. The truth is my weapon, I won't let it be concealed. I'm the voice for the voiceless, no longer gonna yield. In a world full of deception, I'm here to set it straight, bringing justice to the forefront. Won't accept their twisted fate. They may try to silence me, but my voice will still prevail. A sparking revolution, it's the truth-telling tale.
All right. So, I don't like the way this put up on here, but Owens lies about Marraccini, and it is debunked. This was brought to us by Reddit's I hump, you hump, we hump. And of course, she lied. This is part 1. We will see how far into it we get, and then we will continue on from there. We are sadly going to be switching back and forth between the slides and what they mean and the pages in the documents. So, she said, refuting Owens' March 28th, 2018 declaration against Marraccini. On January 9th, 2018, a public figure, Owens, filed for a temporary restraining order against Mike Marraccini on March 28th, 2018. Owens submitted a declaration in support of her request for the restraining order against Marraccini. The following is a breakdown of her statements and supporting proof of its inaccuracies. Supporting evidence is compiled in a PDF. These are excerpts and not entire conversations. Supplemental documents are provided as well. All records contained that we're going to be looking at are matters of public record, and they are available through FOIA requests, so it's nothing private. And we've got it. And then, so when we're reading, Owens is going to be gray, Marraccini is going to be blue. So the first thing we're going to go over is in declarations 5 and 6. Owens claims Marraccini began physically abusing her in June 2016, just 3 months after meeting. However, in her interview, Owens claims the physical abuse didn't begin until their trip to Iceland, December of 2016. Nowhere in her declaration does she mention being abused while being pregnant, nor does she mention being abused while having ovarian cancer. So we are going to look at that document. So now I'm going to present and share screen. And we are going to do that. All right. So we have in her statements 5 and 6, in or around late May or early June 2016, I was asleep when I was suddenly struck in the face by Mr. Marraccini. I don't know exactly how he hit me. I think either his elbow or fist hit me near my eye. I can't say for sure, but I believe he may have been asleep and involuntarily hit me somehow. I had a black eye for a day or two after this. One of his friends told me one of his ex-girlfriends also woke up with a black eye because Mr. Marraccini, quote unquote, accidentally hit her while he was asleep. And then statement 6, in June 2016, Mr. Marraccini and I were out for a walk. While we were walking along the water, he grabbed me by my jacket and pushed me down towards the water, acting like he was going to throw me in. I had previously told Mr. Marraccini that I don't know how to swim. If anybody catches her in a pool, this is not good. She'll be like, well, I've had swim lessons since 2016 to learn how to swim. Later during the walk, we were passing by a shrub when Mr. Marraccini used one of his hands to shove me into it. He did these things as jokes, but they felt somewhat aggressive. And then it goes into the interview. I'm not in an abusive relationship. Moyle, so as this relationship progresses and you're dating and you're trying to maintain normalcy, you try to go through this and it escalates. Owen says, Moyle, where did it begin to look like this was really something you needed to stop? What happened to get you to that point? Share that with us if you would. Right? Somebody needed to beat the tar out of her. Yeah, absolutely. So up until the point that we just finished talking about just before Iceland, like December 2016, it had just been emotional abuse. All right. So that is that one. And we're going to add this to the stage and go to the second one. Declarations 7 and 8. Owens claims it was Marraccini's decision for her to get an abortion. However, her text messages to him claim ownership of the decision, stating, I just don't want to be making a massive mistake. I was just thinking last night that my decision to terminate is really just because it wouldn't be convenient to have a kid, and that's very selfish of me to end a life because I don't want the responsibility. I need to come to terms with that. So the receipts backing that up are going to be this. So 7, in June 2016, I found out I was pregnant and felt very conflicted about whether to have the baby or terminate the pregnancy. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome in 2010 or 2011, which can cause infertility. Yet she says she gets pregnant 24/7. I was afraid I might not ever be able to get pregnant again. Well, you didn't, because you've never been pregnant so far. But also did not necessarily feel ready to have a baby. I told Mr. Marraccini about the pregnancy and shared my feelings about terminating versus having the baby. Initially, he was supportive about giving me some time to think about the decision and said that he thought it would be best if I had an abortion. Statement 8. A day or two after I told him, Mr. Marraccini called me while on a trip with his friends and said that he decided an abortion was the best option for us. When he came back from his trip, he told me that if I had the baby, he would never want to meet the baby or be a part of his or her life, which seems like every man has told her since. And that he would hate me for going through with the pregnancy. He has the right to. You may not like it. It may not be the greatest thing, but he has the right to not like you. He said that if I had the abortion, it would prove to him that I was the type of girl he wanted to be with and would show him how much I valued our relationship. He said he wanted a future together and could see us having kids down the road, but that he wasn't ready to be a father yet. He promised to be there and support me after the abortion. And so the text messages sent during July of 2016, we have Owens saying, I'm not ready to do this, so it's a good thing I have another 10 days. This is so insanely hard for me, and I don't think you can imagine how it is to be in my place right now. I don't think anybody wants to be in your place. Marraccini says back, I said sounds good because there is really nothing to say. If you don't want me to get frustrated, then stop sending ridiculous texts or questioning my integrity when I see you. Owen says, I'm sorry, I flip flop. Yeah, you do that constantly. She also goes to say, I just don't want to be making a massive mistake. I was just thinking last night that my decision to terminate is really just because it wouldn't be convenient to have a kid. And that's very selfish of me to end the life because I don't want the responsibility. I need to come to terms with that. And what are your excuses all the other times? She continues because, like 1, 2, 3, 4 texts to 1. That's her. That's a normal ratio for her. Was thinking about how nice of a time we ended up having last night when you came over. I finally believe you that you're not leaving me and are in this for the long haul. And so, if we're too early by a week and we have to come back, which I still think is a possibility, I promise you I won't flip flop. I know without a doubt in my mind we are doing the right thing today. Thank you for all your patience with me and believing in me. I've completely fallen in love with you and we'll see you later. Now, let's see, they met like in March. So they're in love, like young and in love, or she is, anyways, because she falls like overnight for people. And then, um, is thanking him for his patience and believing her. Isn't that nice? Mm. All right. So then, Declaration 10. JD claims Mike pressured her to make an appointment at Planned Parenthood, and that when she didn't do it fast enough, he made it for her. However, text messages show Owens made the appointment herself without pressure from Mike. And that is going to be page 3 in our thing. All right. So let's add that. All right. Statement 10. Mr. Marraccini pressured to make an appointment at Planned Parenthood for the abortion. When I didn't do it fast enough, he scheduled it for me. Because I wanted to be with him and thought we could have a future together, and since I didn't want to bring a child into the world without a father, I decided to go through with the abortion. In July 2016, I terminated my pregnancy. I think this is where Marraccini had been with her for long enough to see how she behaves and was starting to back away. So, Owen's text messages for the end of June are, did you talk to Planned Parenthood? How is this a thing and why does it sound good? How is this a thing and why does it sound okay? That's just a duplicate. Okay. Then sent a picture of something. And then we have Marraccini says, I have not. Right after I got off the phone with you, I had to take some calls. I will call in a few, though. Did you call your doctor? Owens responds. Owens text, and this is July 8th. I read back your text since last Friday. Yes, I can see where you took my insecurity as questioning your integrity, and that wasn't my intention. I'm genuinely sorry. I have been on top of you. Yeah, I'm sure you have. And questioning you like we were on opposite teams. I am your teammate and your number one fan, but that may just be from this case because I swear I've heard that line before. But I see that I haven't shown that. I love you for your character, your integrity, your kindness, and how comfortable and special you make me feel. Nothing about abusiveness here. Nothing about you're a dick sometimes. I will call Planned Parenthood in the morning and set something up for Tuesday. You are a wonderful man who I'm excited to work towards having a family with in the future, and I will want to focus on that. I just called Planned Parenthood. Overwhelming and sad. I'll try to call Planned Parenthood. I need to call them back if we're going to move it. Okay, those are all on the same day, like hours apart, but still. The Marraccini says, hey, don't call and cancel. If you haven't made another appointment yet, do you want me to call Planned Parenthood in Walnut Creek? Why are you feeling insecure? You're doing the right thing. Owen says, don't you think Walnut Creek is far, though? If I might feel sick after the procedure? Marraccini says it's a 30-minute drive. And of course, she's offering, I could go without you too. That works. And then she says, I just called. Nothing after 12:30. So she's trying to set all this up so that Marraccini can't go. She can't have any of these men there for the abortions. Because if they are, they will figure it out. And if you're not having an abortion and you're taking abortion pills, if they're actual ones, I think that she uses placebo type things, like maybe a Tylenol and says it's that. But if she's doing that and she's not needing it, then like you shouldn't be putting that junk into your body when you don't need it. That can do things to you. But I don't think she's actually putting any of this in her body. She's just lying about it all. But she needs to set it up to where the men are not around for it. All right. So, all right. So then we've got, sorry, I'm just looking at something there. Okay. So then we've got Declaration 11. Owens claims 1. She is grieving for the child. And 2, Mike would get angry and lose his temper when she would discuss her post-abortion emotions. However, 1, Owens claimed in the text that she was pregnant with twins without ever providing Marraccini a sonogram. Point 2, discussed below. All right. So we are going to bring that up in just a moment. All right. Let's bring that back up. All right. We've got our slides. Sorry, this is really small. All right. So here we have Statement 11. In the days following my abortion, I felt sad and started to feel immense guilt. I felt selfish for choosing my relationship with Mr. Marraccini over the baby. I grieved for that child that would never be and started to feel depressed. On several occasions, when I tried to talk with Mr. Marraccini about how I felt, he got angry and lost control of his temper. He'd scream at me and his face would turn bright red. He'd ball his hands into fists and pump them at his side while pacing around. I was afraid of this side of him, which I hadn't seen before. Okay. So, is she talking about him just like just pumping his fists at his side, like with his fist balled up? Is he like doing this? like what is he doing with these fists that she's explaining him? It sounds awkward as hell. Anywho. Nope, wrong way. Okay. Yeah, it just sounds really awkward. So, all right, let's go back to that. And then says, I'm sorry. Marraccini says, I'm sorry you were bedridden all day. And yes, our relationship will be good. Believe, darling. I'll stop doing research because we just won't know for sure for a few days till we make a decision on twins. So she's mentioning twins. But there's only one child, right? Twins would be such a cool experience to have together. So many things I want to do with you and that just sounds fun. Wish this was an added stress factor for us because twins definitely change the picture. Any child in a relationship with your craziness changes the picture. Just a future with you changes everybody's picture and future because it's not what they were thinking. She goes on to text, I've been sick the last hour and it's upsetting me that I haven't heard from you since we're a team in this. If we are completely sure we aren't going to go through with it, even if it's twins, it's important for me to lie down all day. Girl, if you are getting rid of these fake babies, do whatever you need to do. All right. So then we have, let me make sure. Okay. So then we have another part of 11 and 12. As stated above, Owens claimed Mike Marraccini would get angry and lose his temper when she would discuss her post-abortion emotions. 11 and 12, the text provide show no such thing, and that Mike was in fact supportive of her feelings, never implying at any point he would have said anything to get Owens to abort. Mike also requests they have protected sex from here on out, but Owens doesn't want that. Of course not, because she actually wants to get pregnant. So she can be like, well, we did it once, but apparently God just wants us to have one. That's why I just keep getting pregnant. And she states, I like how it feels now as well. I've been craving that. Ugh. I feel very connected to you having sex that way, and I appreciate that right now. Mike responds, of course it does, but it's not smart to keep doing. Exactly, because he doesn't want another situation like this. All right. So she said, wouldn't started and lost control of his temper, wouldn't want to see that side of him. And then statement 12, about 1 week after the abortion, Mr. Marraccini got mad when I told him I felt guilty about the abortion. He'd scream at me. He said I needed to get over it and that he didn't want to stay with me for long. If I couldn't, I felt betrayed since he promised to be there for me throughout the healing process. When I told him this, his response was, I would have said anything to get you to abort. Like, did he say that in person? Did he say that on a phone? Because it's nowhere in the texts. So, we're going to skip 13 for now because that will be later. Okay. So she says, I really appreciate this long and thoughtful text. I'll try and break this down. I have been offered the GoPro gig multiple times and it's a dead end job. It would cool for the time being, but it's not a smart career decision, which is why I've never done that. You're right. I've talked about San Diego and I absolutely love it, but it's about a 5% chance of me moving. My family and all my friends are here and I can't imagine heading south. My dream would be to get a free place from my work in Oakland and buy a condo in South or San Diego and travel down whatever I want. I also understand your concern about age, but everyone has those fears. I'm 3 years older and think about it all the time. Age is a number, and we are not in the 50s anymore. Where you're weird if you get married after 25. Yeah, that's a normal thing. People should wait if they can. Finally, I get the sense that I am never really going to be good enough. However, you send/say the same things, and I'm genuinely concerned if you'll ever be happy with me. I've only been honest with you, and my integrity means a lot to me, but it never seems to be enough. Each day, you need to reconfirm the situation and question my intent, which is incredibly frustrating. I told you if I wanted to leave, I would have already done it. I've also asked you to not question my integrity, and it keeps happening. This will be my last text regarding my honesty and integrity because it's been questioned each day we have talked or text. Please don't do it again. With all that being said, I'm wanting to start something with you and I'm very excited for the future. So he just wants her to chill out. Quit being toxic, quit being extremely needy. You just don't need to be. And so then, well, that keeps popping up. It's annoying. Also, though it feels incredible, I feel we are being irresponsible the way we have been sinned at the moment. We need to practice being responsible for our future. Yes. Owens says, I definitely don't plan on having unprotected sex after this, but I like how it's feeling now as well. Ugh. She may not be talking about sex. She may be talking about emotions. You don't know with her. She's cray-cray. I've been craving that. I feel very connected to you having sex that way, and I appreciate that right now. Does she say this to everybody? Because it's so romantic. Marraccini says, of course it does, but it's not smart to keep doing it. Yeah, that's why, sadly, a lot of people don't use protection is because it doesn't feel as good. But wrap it up, people. Take your pills, use protection if you do not want a baby. I've been in the office since 5 a.m. and have been in a very important meeting for the last 3 hours. Nothing has changed since yesterday. I have said that I'm looking forward to a future with you. This is the reconfirmation that I speak about in my big text. I would tell you if I felt differently about the situation. Honestly, I've fallen so far behind with work the last couple of weeks, so I'm really trying hard to get in early, stay late. I want to see you though, so don't think I don't care or I'm not acting close. I just want you to know that I'm going to be there to support you and want to be a person you lean on for this. Sounds really supportive. Owen says, I read back your text and genuinely sorry and all that stuff. She'll call Planned Parenthood. Okay. I'm really trying to fix my mood about this. Hope you know that. Marraccini says, I appreciate that and I'm here to help. What a horrible human being. Horrible. He's here to help. What an awful person. I'm really going to need you for this, okay? Making the appointment for Tuesday is a huge deal for me. What time on Tuesday? Owen says 12:50. He says, I'll be there to help you out. Smiley face. Which location? Walnut Creek. I don't know about me driving after the procedure, but maybe it won't have kicked in by then. Marraccini says, I'll drive. Yeah, but I don't think that actually happened. I don't know if her mom took her or what. All right. So, yeah, he sounds so awful. Like the worst person you could ever have by your side. I am something. Where is ah, okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so 13 is a pretty big declaration. It's got a lot of info in it. And so, Declaration 13. Owens claims Mike demeaned her due to her sadness after the abortion, constantly calling her worthless and ugly. However, there are 0 instances of Mike calling her worthless or ugly or depressed in almost 2,500 pages of text messages spanning over 1.5 years. In fact, the only one to call Owens worthless is herself on 3 separate occasions. Continuation of Declaration 3 is Owens claims Marraccini called her mentally ill, bipolar, and said she needed to be medicated. However, text messages show that Owens spiraling in December 2016. To give this some context, according to Marraccini's deposition and Collins' declaration, Owens admitted in December of 2016 with Mr. Owens, public figure, Mr. Ron Owens, who just blindly supports his daughter. Marraccini and Collin present that she had fabricated her pregnancies with Marraccini. Mr. Colin Scanlon states that Owens was complaining of depression and suicidal thoughts at the fear of her relationship with Marraccini ending and was very distraught. And Owens admitted that she was, in fact, not pregnant and there was no need for an abortion. Marraccini reaffirms these assertions in his deposition. This is the catalyst for the following text exchanges in the early hours of December 9th, 2016. Owen states in a text message to Marraccini that she needs help. She also makes the following statements. So she says, she won't mess up again. I will get help, I promise, right now. I'm pulled over and getting a drink. I made my bed and there's nothing I can do to rectify this with you, so there's not even a point. You said you would give me another change and that we could go to Iceland together, and I promise to be in full treatment. I promise you I will go and get help. I'm almost home to get help in order to do that and improve myself. I'm going to check myself in right now. I'm on my way. I just met my family at the hospital, but I'm on a hold here now that I admitted my problem. I have messed up so much. Oh my God, I absolutely hate myself. Please, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please, I will do anything I want to get better. I am worthless piece of shit, and I'm sorry you all have had to deal with me. I want to stay here until Wednesday and better myself. So, she's just putting in the work, doing all the time at the hospital, right? All right. Let's go back into the documents. All right. So, 13. Between July and November 2016, things between Mr. Marraccini and I were rocky. I continued to struggle with feelings of sadness due to the abortion. I would frequently try to talk to him about this, but whenever I brought it up, he got mad and yelled at me. He'd say that I should be over it. He'd tell me that he wanted someone more cheery like his ex-girlfriends were. He would regularly demean me. For example, he constantly told me I was worthless and ugly and said that nobody would want to be with me because of my depression. He criticized my performance and said that he was just stating the facts by telling me I was bad at my job. He started calling me crazy and telling me that I was mentally ill. He'd tell me that I was bipolar and needed to be medicated. I have never been depressed before having an abortion. Okay, well, that's for that. Hang on one second, guys. I gotta go check on something. Um, Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let's turn that off. There we go. I always forget to turn the music off, but I didn't this time. Yay! All right, so now we have Marraccini states, I think after this is finished tomorrow, it would be best for you to go talk with someone. Your lack of trust is very apparent, and I think it would be best to talk about our past, present, and future with someone. Or I think it would be best to talk about, our past. I'm not saying you're crazy or anything. I just think people as experienced as them are very knowledgeable. I talk with our therapist all the time. Now, what does he mean by our? Do Owens and Marraccini already have like a relationship therapist, a couples counselor that they talk to? Or is it just a therapist he sees or his family sees? And that's what he means by our. So then she states, I had no idea. People didn't know we were together. Marraccini says, I don't want to put in an awkward situation now. I can't very well do that now. Nobody knows because we haven't been. So this is in December of 2016. Okay. We had been up until 2 weeks ago and it restarted. Don't take it out on the girl who needs help. So you definitely will try being my boyfriend and give your best through Iceland. If I don't do this, and if we can have a date night next, I promise I will get help and not do this if you say yes. I want you to legitimately give us a chance at a beautiful relationship and go to Iceland and us go out on dates starting next year. That's all I want. I won't mess up again. I will get help. I promise right now. So she's pressuring this Iceland trip. She's pressuring it. She wants him to go to Iceland. She thinks this would be the best. They have been on a break and they have been split up kind of. And she's like, will you please be my boyfriend again and us start dating? And so she says, so that's a yes to all of them. I don't want to be on the phone because I don't want to know anyone to know where I'm pulled over and getting a drink. I have no idea where they are. I don't want anyone to hear me because I'm pulled over and I don't want my phone to be tracked. What the hell is she talking about? And it's like, I'm here and thinking and realizing it's too late for you to think of me as anything other than what I've done by my actions. I've made my bed and there's nothing I can do to rectify this with you. So there's not even a point. Okay, so this might be where she's in the car and they're trying to get her to calm down. And then they go and check her in or try to, but she doesn't end up staying. So maybe that's what she doesn't want her parents to track her phone. So that's what she's pulled over and she's stopped and she's talking about unaliving herself. She continues to say, you'd said earlier we could try again in our romantic relationship. When I came home, not just talk after treatment, you said you would give me another chance and we would go to Iceland together. And I promised to be in full treatment. Yeah, but you never are in full treatment. You don't take your meds. You don't go to your therapist. You didn't put yourself in a psych hold. I promise you I will go get help. Are you kidding me? I was on the phone with my mom and she admitted that my dad told you to say whatever was needed to get me home. I'm almost home to get help in order to do that and improve myself. She goes on to still say, okay, I understand, obviously, and I'm sorry about all the stress, and nothing is more important to me than fixing myself for my sake and everyone's around me, and finding out why this happened. I was just saying I think we could have a long and wonderful future, and I could really see us going the distance because I'm committed to fixing things that I need to work on and am extremely committed to you. I'm going to check myself in now. I'm on my way. I'm trying to get help and I'm terrified too because I don't know what to expect at all. Marraccini says, don't be scared and I'll see you when you get out. I just met my family at the hospital. I'm on a hold here now that I admitted my problem. They said probably 24 hours and then I can do intensive outpatient if my psychiatrist approves it. Why are you on the phone? Because if you're on a hold, you do not have your electronics. You don't. They take all that away so that you can focus on getting better, getting rest, whatever you may need. And then says, I wanted to say this. You and your family have been my saviors and guardian angels in what has happened to me. All of you have proven to be amongst the most selfless, caring people my family has met, and my parents want to know if they could take everyone out to the House of Prime Rib for the holidays so we could show our appreciation and get to know each other better. How do you not know each other already? I took today to write down a lot of reoccurring complaints I have heard you say about me so I can give them in therapy. No, you didn't. You wrote them down so you could file a lawsuit against him and try to trap him to stay with you. I want you to know I listened and want to get better. You deserve the best girl on this earth, and I know it's me. I will be a great mother to kids one day, and you will be tremendous dad. I see this fabulous little family filled with so much love and honesty and happiness. And guess what? I'm going to come out of the greatest and plant a giant kiss in you. And from that moment, you will feel my love and appreciation for you and your struggles. There isn't going to be another person about you and your family more. My new life goal. You need to have some other life goals about yourself. Stop putting your life goals on other people. Focus on yourself. And he found somebody that is more about his family and more about him than you. I love you so deeply, there aren't words for it. I will go to the end of the earth to make dreams become reality if you need me to. I will be that reliable of a partner, not being one you have to worry about all the time. I'm going to be the great Netflix and chill girl, hooking up in lingerie, glacier walking, spontaneous, New Year's Eve kissing, supportive, understanding, co-dog owner. But he doesn't like your dog, is what you said. Buttons. And eventually, wife that you deserve. And that's my life's mission that I will paint tomorrow. Are you in a painting class at the hospital to paint your feelings? I'm kidding, obviously. I love you more than I have ever loved any man in the world. Yeah, okay. Like, this should not be your dreams. Do not, ladies, hang your future on a man. And men, don't hang your future on a girl. Find happiness in yourself. Find it when you're happy with yourself, then you can be happy with somebody else. Marraccini says that all sounds nice. I know it makes you feel better to look ahead, but you need to live in the present while you get help. Yes, absolutely. Stop worrying about the future. That's part of your problem. Marraccini says, get better, Laura. Please, I don't feel like I can do this right now because I've clearly pissed you off. I just want to check myself out now. I've effed everything up. This is why you're not allowed to have your phones when you're going through psych treatment, because stuff in your phone, social media, people that you talk to can be part of the reason for you going cray-cray. And it happens to a lot of people. So they don't want you to have this stuff while you're in the hospital on like psych holds. Like, you can have it if you're in the ER and stuff like that, but she said she was on a psych hold. So she wouldn't be able to talk this much. Please say something. I cannot focus at all. I don't understand why what I said didn't mean anything to you. I want to be this great partner, and all this seems to do is frustrate you, and I don't get why. Please, Mike. I'm not even supposed to have my phone at all. I just can't focus on getting better or therapy or anything because I don't know what is going on with you. And if I have screwed up everything, which I think I have, and I hate myself so much for it, aren't we still going to Iceland as a couple too? Oh my God. I can't why would Marraccini be frustrated? Just can't understand that, right? Marraccini says, no, you were insane this weekend and you are forgiven, but this is not forgotten. This will take time to heal. She just thinks that he should reciprocate that big paragraph that she wrote him and address all of it. Well, she needs to focus on her right now. Nothing else matters but her mental stability. That's what he feels like. And then here she goes with another big quote, like 20 minutes later. Mike, you have met everything to me. Your well-being, your happiness. I genuinely tried and I failed miserably. I just came to the conclusion last week that I will never get being a good girlfriend, quote, right, quote, and having a family down the line is a goal I've had for my life since I was little. But I just keep screwing it up, and I realize that maybe some people are just not meant to live long and have families. If you're still in this earth, you are here to last if nothing has taken you out. You don't need to do it because it's not your job to determine that. That is, to me, the Lord's work. To other people, it may be something else, but it is nobody's. It should not be up to anybody to take themselves out. Now, some people are supposed to be single, but you probably will not have anybody until you work on your mental health and get better. And you will continue to live single because nobody's going to want to deal with it. I'm causing you and your family and my family so much pain by being around, and it's not fair to anyone anymore. For as much as I try, I always screw up, even though my intentions have always been good. But I don't want you to feel hurt and upset at me all the time. And I really don't think there's anything I can do to rectify my actions. Get off the phone is what you can do. Get off the phone. I truly look to you for your words this weekend, and I feel absolutely broken. I don't want to go on continuously making mistakes and embarrassing myself, all while unintentionally hurting people on the way. And I have generally come to the conclusion that this world and the people in my lives would be tremendous amount better without me in them. I'm sorry for any pain I've caused, and I promise you I will get rid of myself so there won't be any more pain for you, and you can find happiness because you deserve it more than anyone I know. Sure, she's guilt tripping. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. And he writes back, I'm sorry you feel that, but that's ridiculous. You would cause so much pain to everyone if you ended your life. You need to work on you. If you want an us, which is what I've always stated, the mistakes that you're making are from unrealistic expectations and giving ultimatums, which isn't fair to anyone. Yeah. And one of our ultimatums is stay with me or I file a lawsuit on you. And I ruin your life because you ruined mine by not staying with me and not giving me love and children. We all care about you, which is why we spent so much time talking with you this entire weekend. We all want you to get better so we can spend time together. She says, Laura, question mark. So still on 12/12. I'm just asking for paperwork to check out. I can't do this. And the fact that you guys spent so much time talking to me means the world, but it doesn't change the fact that I can get it right in the area that means the most to me. I literally just can't, no matter how hard I try. I've always dreamed of being this confident girl that you would be so proud of to be with and show off, and no matter what I try to do, I'm not her. I know you're not proud to be with me, and you're with me because I forced you into rather than because you really want to be with me. I'm not stupid. So you admit you force people to be with you. Great. That's wonderful. I'm glad you admit it. I understand I wouldn't be proud to be with me either or want to like a photo of me. What? Now that needs to stop. I'm sorry I've been such a pain in your ass. I genuinely just want to be happy in the future and can picture you being this tremendous husband and father to a family, but I just need to come to terms with the fact that it won't be my family and that I did everything I could to try to make you happy, but just didn't work. I'm not capable of making you happy. Well, then let him go. Make yourself happy, Owens. All right. So nobody wants to do it. Okay. So then we also have I'm human and only want the best for you. You gave me an ultimatum. I'm human and only want. Oh, okay. I said if you better yourself first, then you will better us. The only way for there to be an us is if you get better yourself. Owen says, but you lied to me and don't actually want to be my boyfriend. I hear the anger you have in your voice when you talk to me. I know you don't love me or want to show me off or look forward to doing anything with me. I'm not stupid. She says, I give up. So you don't want to be my boyfriend. Marraccini says, how do you not get this? I said, if you work on yourself, then we can work towards that. Because she doesn't listen. By going back and forth, you really don't care and are essentially saying it's all about you. Well, it is all about her. Everything is always about her. I guess I stupidly believed you wanted to be with me, and that was motivation for me big time. Marraccini says, when given an ultimatum, I made the compassionate and logical choice. For you not to see that is an effing mind-boggling to me. So here she's flipping the script. This is still on 12/12, 2016. Like, this is still all in the same day. I emotionally hurt so bad right now, and I have hurt everyone so much around me so much. I literally have had this stupid picture in my head for months of us being together forever and having kids and being happy, and I can't figure out how to do that. I just messed up. It's not even worth me trying. I just seriously need to be done. I feel like the worst person in the world for frustrating you so much, and I know you will be better off if I'm not around. Maybe not initially, but in the long run, it will allow you to find happiness with someone else, and you deserve that, so that's what I will do. He doesn't need you to take yourself out to go and be with somebody else. He doesn't need that. He also doesn't need your permission. Like, stop with this guilt trip so he'll try to stay with you. She says, I guess I will just check out. I have messed up so much. Oh my God, I absolutely hate myself. Hello, please, I will do anything. Please call me back for 1 minute. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please, I want to get better. I will do anything. Like, these were all sent like within seconds of each other or minutes of each other. 12/12, 12/12, 12/12, 12/12. Jesus Christ. Marraccini says, you will never understand the values to life. It's pointless. And then Owens says, I'm a worthless piece of shit, and I'm sorry you ever had to deal with me. She says, please. I want to stay here until Wednesday and better myself and be together with you and have beautiful romantic time in Iceland. Is that a good plan? She keeps pushing Iceland. He is not bringing up Iceland. Maybe he thinks, you know what, it's something for her to look forward to. Not even going to discuss it. Whatever. If that's what she wants to believe and that's what gets her through this whole thing and bettering herself and getting on meds and everything, then just let her have that. But she keeps on yapping. I'll just check out. I'm going to stay here now. Okay. See, flip-flop. I flip-flop so much. I'm sorry I flip-flop. All right. And so then we have deposition stuff. It's, yes, they went to a horse show together. So I think this is, let's see, how would you characterize Laura's relationship with, I believe it's your sister's fiance? Marraccini says, yeah. Or Colin Scanlon? Correct. And describe what that relationship was like. Marraccini says they didn't really have a relationship. He witnessed a conversation one night, and then I think we went out to dinner a few other nights, so he rarely ever saw her. But the one conversation that he did, like, take witness to was Laura's father, Laura, and me, like in December 2016, having a very serious conversation. And so they said, okay. And what was the nature of that conversation? Marraccini says, about Laura lying. Okay, about lying about what? Marraccini says in his deposition, essentially, a pregnancy, an abortion, and saying that she was creating these stories and her dad was there too, essentially. Talk to me, and I wanted somebody there for my side to witness what I was going through. So he wanted somebody to be there while this conversation happened because he found out about her lying and needed a third party to be there as well. He tried to have, he had Owen's dad there, and then he had Colin Scanlon there, which was him. So he had somebody for her and somebody for himself that would also know about this. So he's trying to essentially kind of protect himself too, but had somebody there for her emotionally. And so the guy says, and you called Colin to serve as that witness? Marraccini says, yeah, I wanted a non-biased, somebody that's got not part of my family to make sure that I'm not like going crazy and that I was essentially hearing them correctly. And that's why I had him come, because he's level-headed and he's not biased. Well, he kind of is because he's dating her sister, but you each had somebody there for you. And so did he witness the entire conversation? Marraccini says yes. That night, he did. Okay, and what were the lies, the alleged lies that Laura told? Marraccini says she said that she did have an abortion and she didn't. Do what? Twat. She said that, and we were talking everything about unaliving, that she wanted to unalive. We talked about other lies that she said was about her pregnancy for the second time. So he mentions 2 times of her lying about pregnancy and abortions. She lied about that, and her dad confirmed it. So her dad knew she lied about that. Yet he knows her behavior, and he still stands behind her and supports her and thinks, my little girl could do nothing wrong. She's so strong. Marraccini continues to say she then went into talking about her antidepressant medications, and her dad was just there to essentially tell me that what was then going on had to stop. And what he meant by that was her lying. Her dad wanted her to stop lying. Yeah, well, she still hasn't several years later. Then the person said, when you say she lied about the pregnancy, what specifically did she lie about? Marraccini says she said that she was pregnant twice over the course of like 4 months, maybe 5 months, and it wasn't true. She would go in to have essentially an abortion with no pregnancy. Yeah. Yeah. She continues to do that. She practices that. Okay. And then so Colin Scanlon, it says that he had met Owens several times. He specifically remembered being called by Michael to come to Laura's apartment in December 2016 for a meeting with Laura and her father to discuss Laura's desire to continue the relationship with Michael. Laura had been claiming that she was pregnant and had been threatening Mike with not having an abortion if he ceased dating her. So that's the similarities and all that. Additionally, Laura had been indicating to Mike that she was contemplating unaliving at the thought of the relationship ending. He wanted me to be there as a witness. During the meeting, her father, Ron Owens, steered. Mr. Owens told Michael that his daughter has a tendency to exaggerate or even flat out make things up. Laura was complaining of depression and unaliving thoughts at the fear of her relationship with Marraccini ending and was very distraught. During the meeting, there was no discussion of Michael ever having been physical or psychologically abusive towards Laura. She did not complain at all about Michael's conduct towards her. Laura admitted that she was in fact not pregnant and there was no need for an abortion. She also apologized for threatening to unalive. The meeting ended with no final decision on the relationship, just the agreement that Mike would not rush a decision and for the two of them to continue to work things through. Mr. Owens was very thankful. As he, Michael, and myself left the apartment, Mr. Owens advised Michael in the elevator on the way out of the building that he appreciated Marraccini agreeing to not ending the relationship outright and see how it goes, and then advised him to get out in a few weeks when his daughter had the chance to calm down and get a handle on her depression. And then let's see what else. His Michael Marraccini's sister in November of 2016 that Marraccini called her distraught how Laura lied to him about getting an abortion and that he needed someone to come to Laura as he needed a witness. I asked my boyfriend Colin to walk over to listen as Laura had called her father to come to her apartment. Colin heard Laura admit to lying about the abortion. She justified her behavior by saying she didn't want to lose Marraccini. Told Michael that he needed. Laura makes up stories in her head and she believes them. Colin witnessed this meeting and heard conversations. So part of that is hearsay. Part of that is not, because Marraccini called her in November about this. And then this meeting didn't happen until December. And so this said walk over because she lives right in the same area as Owens. So every time she's like, oh, he's in this area and there's no reason for him to be. Well, his sister lives there. So yeah, that kind of happens in an area that people live in and they're in the same area. Happens in small towns all the time. Okay. So that is that statement. All right. And I have the pages in these slides too to kind of help me. Oh, okay. Sorry, this was part of it. There was a trigger warning. I should have gave that prior to, my bad. But people that are following this case already know kind of how this stuff goes. So she threatens while allegedly at the health facility. It says it sucks too because I really had wanted to be that girl, but it's too late now. I screwed everything up. I just messed up. It's not worth trying. You know, and then he means everything to her and all of that. Can't rectify my actions because you deserve more than anyone. But he's such a horrible person, right? All right. Declaration 14. So she declares, I declare, in her declaration as well as in the interview, Owens claimed to have bought Mike a Panerai $10,000 watch on June 5th, 2017 at his request. At text show Mike stating he never asked her for a watch. Okay. We also need to remember that, I don't trust Owens, but if I'm giving her some benefit of the doubt somewhere, just to be fair, don't hate me for it. But some of these things could have been said not in text. They could have been said in person, they could have been said on the phone. But a lot of the guys that were involved with Owens like things in black and white, so that they have receipts and they have black and white proof of things. So Mike did receive a watch from Owens, but it was found to be a knockoff purchased from Amazon. Owens never provided Mike a receipt for the watch, the number of her alleged watch broker, or any documentation confirming the watch's authenticity. According to the forensic laptop analysis of text between Owens and Marraccini, done by John Berryhill, the watch is delayed in its shipping, that her father's jewelry broker found the exact watch Mike had wanted, and a trade-in of Mike's original watch gift, which he had yet to receive, was made, plus some extra cash. When the watch breaks, Owens refuses to give Mike the broker's phone number, but does provide an invalid Panerai serial number. By October 2017, Owens has still never provided Mike with the papers for the watch to prove its authenticity, or the receipt from her purchase of the watch. Mike later purchased an authentic Panerai for himself after his relationship with Owens. So this is why I wish Marraccini would have fought against her. But his counsel told him, you can just kind of get this over quick and hopefully she'll go away. I think more should have been explained to Marraccini, and I think he should have fought it. I want to say ineffective assistance of counsel. Because I think a better lawyer would have maybe told him that, but would have also told him the downfalls of what could happen with him accepting this and not fighting it. And I think it's just real sad. Okay. So we'll bring this back up. All right. So we've got Declaration 14. It was also during this time between July and November 2016 that I was spending a lot of money on Mr. Marraccini. In the beginning of our relationship, he could pick up the check when we went out for dinner, or we would split it. After a month or so, he stopped doing this and would allow the bill to sit on the table until I paid it. By late summer 2016, it became implied that I would pay for everything. Then, starting in or around October 2016, Mr. Marraccini wanted to go out to fancy dinners several times a week, which I paid for. In November of 2016, he started calling me his sugar mama. In 2017, after he lost his job, he started asking me to pay for his rent, which I did on a couple of occasions. He also asked me to take him on multiple vacations and buy him a $10,000 watch, which I did. I felt like he was taking advantage of me, but I loved him, so I did what I could to make him happy. No, you did what you wanted to in that relationship because you're crazy. So, Marraccini says in February 27th, 2017, Marraccini says, okay, this is going to be hard to respond to, but I'll give it my best shot. Your first paragraph is incorrect. It's plain and simple. I think you are very generous and always wanting to do something fun, which is why you book the trips, but you usually do it without me knowing about it or chatting with me. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate Iceland, Napa, and Dubai, but I've had talks with you previously about no more trips until we figure us. She just thinks I'll just keep taking him on these trips. And so he'll just keep going, he'll just keep going. And we don't have to focus on us necessarily. We're just going to go on these trips and have a good time. And like maybe she wants to be in these locations because she doesn't want to be in reality, which is like at home. Because if she's just at home and they're not on these adventures, then they have to talk about serious stuff and get down to the nitty gritty. And so she wants to go away and live in fantasy worlds. If you remember correctly, I had to be convinced to go to Iceland after what transpired. In regards to David, I know you do not dictate what happens with him, but I think you have said things that were unnecessary and probably slowed down this process. At this point, I look at radio not happening. I'm happy it worked out for you, but I'm not going to invest any more time into it. In regards to the horrible qualities comment, I think you're missing the point of why I have trust issues. First, you lied about pregnancy. So he is saying this to her face, or not to her face, but in a text, straight to her. You lied about your pregnancy. Not once, but twice. Then you have these unaliving thoughts that were terrible and lasted for months. It was manic depression and threw me for a whirlwind. Now, we don't know if it was manic depression. She probably just told him that, or that's how he felt. I don't think you realize the amount of stress that put on me and my family. So yes, I'm going to take my time when it comes to a decision. I'm sorry if that doesn't meet your timeline. But I need to look out for myself in regards to my happiness or to happiness. And she should be doing the same. In the third paragraph, you talk about unaliving and not having control of the relationship. First, I'm glad that you understand that your actions have consequences. But she doesn't. She still doesn't realize that. But I don't think you truly understand, or else you would stop asking me the same question on a daily basis. Like, how many times does he have to tell her that? How many times did Greg have to tell her that? How many times did Clayton have to tell her that? Numerous times. She does this over and over again. When talk about control of your relationship, I don't get that statement at all because I'm unsure about you emotionally means I have all the power. You can pull the plug whenever you want, just like me. So neither of us has more power than the other. I think because it's not going exactly the way you want, it means that I have more power, which is not correct. Very true. Like, it is a 50-50. Like, no one should be controlling you at all. And you shouldn't be controlling anybody else. I think you need to approach this maturely and see that I was affected by it. If I don't get over it in time, then I can see where an ultimatum is given. But you ask me the same question on a daily basis, like I'm going to change my mind in 10 hours. Yeah, she's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Are we there yet? 20 minutes. Are we there yet? Like, just because you do more talking, that probably delays how long it's going to be. If you would shut your trap and let him have a moment to himself to really think, and you show him that you're changing and that you're more stable on your medications and everything, you would probably get better results. You might even get the results that you want. But you push and you push and you push and you push these people away. I know you love me. I really care about you, which is why I still want to keep seeing and spending time with you. I think we connect in a lot of ways and that we have more pros than cons. I just need you to take a step back and relax when it comes to pushing me towards what you want. I have always been honest with you and never steered you the wrong way, so I would appreciate you just relaxing on the interview questions on a daily basis. If we go on the trip, I think it will be really fun. If we don't, I totally understand and would not hold anything against you. Such a monster. He just wanted her to take her on all these trips and buy me a watch. Just give me a watch. It's crazy. Okay, so that's the watch comment. All right. So now here's the text about the watch. Because I just spent a effing fortune on a watch on a dude who gets angry about the issue of quote love quote after we've been dating for 14 months. Like, if I bring it up, you're done. Love is important to me, Marraccini, and my gestures have been guided by it, including the watch purchase. I want us to work towards having love that we both spend time trying to come up with ways to make the other ordinary feel special. The longer it goes, the harder it is to repress my feelings. I was so up in the air on buying the watch, but I pulled the trigger because I love you and I know you would love it. I'm just going to give it to a guy who thinks I'm special enough to be loved. This makes me because I just love all of your edits and qualities. What the hell? So Marraccini says, Laura, I said, if you bring up the same fight daily, then it pushes me away. That's exactly what I just said a while ago. She pushes these people away by asking, are we there yet? I understand you want me to say it and shout it from the rooftops, but that's not the type of guy I am, especially with everything that has happened lately. I've been depressed dealing with my mom, his stepdad's death, my sister being in rehab, and me starting a new job. Oh, I didn't know his sister was. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I hope she's good now. There is a lot on my plate right now. Like, she's doing all this while dealing with her mom because his stepdad passed away. His mom's husband passed away. He's dealing with family matters. And she just is pushing and pushing and pushing her BS on him in the meantime. There's a lot on my plate right now, and I would appreciate you taking a step back and chilling the F out. Every day you're on me for the same shit. Like, I forgot that you brought it up the previous day. Like, she is a person that, no offense, she acts like she has dementia or amnesia, and she doesn't remember asking this stuff. And she just asks it repeatedly because she just forgot that she asked it 5 seconds ago. I understand what you want and have understood it the other 100 times, 100 plus times you brought it up. You were the one that told me about your deadline, not me. So please stop throwing it in my face as well. She has a deadline on this. Like, give me a break. I care about you a ton and obviously want to be with you, but part of me is beyond tired of your nagging. I don't want to keep dealing with the same questions from you on the daily basis, on top of the other ridiculous shit you say to me. I told you that silence is okay sometimes, and we don't need to always be talking. Yeah, give the man some breathing room. Marraccini says, and lastly, I didn't ask you to buy this watch for me. If you did buy it, then I will pay you back because that is not fair to you. I was showing it to my sister because she wants to contribute to it. Please send your receipt and I will give you the money. So this is why he wants the receipt. Like, so he can pay her back for the watch she bought him. He didn't ask her to buy it. Then she says, by the way, probably best not to bring up the watch in front of my dad tonight. Marraccini says, LOL, why would I bring it up? I'm the one who said I was uncomfortable about it. She says, okay, well, we can just do it with us when we're on our romantic weekend. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, he's not wanting to talk about it. She is. And her dad is not happy about her spending habits. Or maybe it's his money that she's spending. So that's why he's maybe not happy. Who knows? But no, he didn't push you to buy this. He offered to reimburse you. So yeah, quit your lying and bragging. So nobody but my dad's broker actually found the exact watch you wanted, never worn, in new condition, and let me trade it in the used one I got you, so you will have a new Panerai. Marraccini says, seriously, that's amazing. Like, he is excited. Like, he apparently likes a good watch. Owen says, yep, I gave my dad the watch, and his broker is going to come by his place this weekend and swap it out. My dad is also shopping for something for my mom, so it's not like he has to make a special trip. But you don't want your dad to know about it, so I guess he found out about it. But this seems to all be a lie too, so maybe not. Or her dad would have been like, that's not how much the watch costs. Like, he would have just outed her accidentally. Marraccini says, I do have a question about the watch, though. How could a broker come across a brand new one for the same price? That doesn't really make sense. Owen says, it's not the same price. I had to pay a little more. I traded it in and paid money on top. I don't get how that doesn't make sense. She says, by the way, I seriously feel awful about this, but your watch isn't coming till Friday. I only found out early this morning that it wasn't being delivered today. I'm having it go to my parents' house now since my dad is going to be there while I'm gone. He said he's happy to give it to you so you can have it before Sunday. And Marraccini said, haha, it's okay. I'll see you Sunday. Like, he's not worried about or pressed about this watch. Now it's your watch is getting delivered the 20th. Marraccini says, how does it keep getting pushed back? The jeweler is probably wearing it because it's such an awesome piece. Like, he's joking there. Like, the jeweler's just not sending it because he's just wearing it on his wrist and he doesn't want to give it up himself. But he needs to give the watch. He needs to send the watch and just get himself one. Or keep that one and send Marraccini his other one. So Owen says it's scheduled for delivery on the 20th. It will be here then. Well, you said it would be here Friday. So now it's the 20th. So how do you know it will be here then? Do you work for them? I don't know. I was under the impression my dad had gotten it until I spoke with him this morning. It was too good. I had a great dinner and then went back to the hotel and worked out. Are you going to SAC today? P.S. I'm planning my next date for you. And gonna take care of your watch. Watch is real, like I said, and they can fix it. Awesome. I didn't doubt you. I doubted the jeweler, babe. So he's trying to placate her. Did you get a strap? Marraccini says, I'll Venmo you now. So he's offering to pay for things. Not trying to use up her money. Says, yes. Can you send me your watch broker's name and phone number? Owen says, what's wrong? And yes, he said, because it's needed now to insure the watch. Yeah, when you have a pricey watch, if it's a $10,000 watch, you're going to want to put insurance on it in case it gets stolen or something like that, so you can get it replaced or get money to get a reimbursed so that you can get another one. Owen says, you can send me the insurance company's number and I will gladly give them that. Marraccini says, your lack of transparency is concerning. Everything I ask for, you say no. The number you gave me was invalid, and Panerai said that number doesn't exist. Owen says, that's absolutely bullshit. And she gives the number. That's my customer number. And Marraccini says, I'm telling you what they told me. Like, he's not necessarily the one fully accusing her. Like, they're telling him, sir, we don't have this. And maybe they don't want the customer number. Owen says, I didn't say no at all. I said to give me the number of the insurance company and I'd call them. Marraccini says, they said 2 Ceramicas were checked in this weekend and one was for Barbara and one was for Larry. I don't know what that's in regards to. But Marraccini says, why wouldn't you give me the number? So she gives him a number. That same number she gave down here. He said, it would be much quicker if you just gave me the number. She said, it just did. And so Owen says, I'm talking about the broker phone number. He says, I don't care about this anymore. I care about you. I was trying to help you out this entire time, and I was extremely excited about getting it. Until this morning, I was freaking out and counting down the days. Today just doesn't make sense, though. Nothing you have said has made sense, and you're saying that I'm attacking you when I was asking you basic questions that anyone would ask. If it is fake, I wouldn't care. That's not the point of it anymore. You tried to turn this around into me being ungrateful when all I was trying to do was help find out the answers. Believe me, I am done talking about the watch. He doesn't care about the stupid watch anymore. Just shut up about it. He was trying to do what normal people do. Forgive him. Okay, so then a day later, Owen says, your watch was the easiest fix. A screw had fallen out and the screw was in the box. That's all it was. How's the watch? Marraccini says, I'm waiting to wear it with you. That's sweet, right? Doesn't sound like he's using her. She says, how's the watch holding up? He says, I haven't been wearing it. Like, he just said he's been waiting to wear it with you. Hey, I forgot to tell you, but the watch won't wind anymore. I'm going to send it in to have it fixed. And Shreve told me to get the paperwork because I will be under warranty. I remember giving you the paperwork when you took it down south. I was seeing if I could get it so I can take it in. She says, okay, I'll try to find out what happened, or try to find it. And she says, when did this happen? Marraccini says this is in August now. Before they were in June. So this is like 2 months later. A few days ago, try looking in your backpack first. Said, I didn't want to bring it up when you were sick, but forgot last night. So Owens was sick, apparently. Owen says, okay, that doesn't make sense that it doesn't wind. Marraccini says, yeah, when I twist the crown, I feel like it's going to break something on the inside and it grinds. Owen says, damn. Marraccini says, yeah, what's a bigger bummer is when you send it in, it takes a couple of months to get back. And he says, "Hey, I hope your weekend was great. I'm trying to get the jewelry insurance after an incident happened this weekend. Did you ever find the paperwork for the watch? I tried calling Panerai and they said to do a thorough search before calling it in because the process is lengthy of getting new paperwork." Jeez Louise. All right, so that is that one. Okay. So let's see here. Declaration 15. In Owen's declaration, she states Mike did not like her and didn't want to be with her. Texts prove the contrary. Owens also claims that Mike was continued dating her for money and connections that her father's local fame provided, but that he didn't care about her. In the text from the laptop analysis, it's proven time and time again that while Marraccini expressed interest in doing radio, Owens is the instigator and proponent of the radio show, not Marraccini. It is believed that Owens was impersonating the agent, texting with herself, and emailing Marraccini from a fake email account. Well, it's not the first time she's done stuff like that. Well, this might be the first time she's done something like that, but she's repeated that. So let's go to that. All right. So, Declaration 15. I really wanted our relationship to work, but I felt like Mr. Marraccini did not like me and didn't want to be with me. When I would ask him if he wanted to break up, he said that he did not and would tell me he really cared about me and thought we could work through our issues. This happened multiple times throughout our relationship. I felt he wanted to continue dating me for the money and connections to my father's local fame provided, and that he didn't care about me. So, texts show Owen saying, "But we are together." Marraccini says, "No." Owen says, "Huh? We're not? You said we were, but you weren't saying boyfriend." Marraccini says, "That is correct. We have been having the talks bi-weekly for over a month now. We are still very early in our relationship, and you pushing isn't helping. I'm not asking you to back off on loving me. I'm asking you to stop pressuring me to be on your same level. And people in a relationship, you aren't always on the same level at the same time. And sometimes it can come later for the other person. Sometimes it just doesn't come at all. But you can't make somebody love you. I mean, Owens has tried, and it doesn't work. So it just doesn't work. You can't force people to be the same place you're at. If you can't handle that, then I would I would suggest backing off. I really care about you, and I think this pregnancy has added a lot of stress that puts a strain on our relationship. Once we move past this, I see us being in a much better spot. So we're back in July of 2016 when these pregnancies were supposedly happening. She says, "No, I don't feel supported now. Not even close." Marraccini says, "Well, you should be. We all care about you a lot." All right. Now we're in August. He says, "I've tried calling you multiple times and it doesn't go through, so I'll try and address this over text. I don't get annoyed when you say, quote, I love you, quote, I guess those are quotation marks. Well, no, maybe they're quotation marks. I get annoyed when you say, I'm here for you if you need to talk. I want to make you the happiest person on earth. It was very kind the first time, and even the second and the third time you said it, but you say it every day and simply don't understand what makes me happy. I want not to be pressured. I want a week where we aren't dealing with the pregnancy. I want a week where everyone is healthy. And most importantly, I want a week where I can be me. You don't get to be you with her. You get to be the way she wants, or she threatens you. For the last 8 weeks, there has been a ton of stress and pressure on us, which we shouldn't have this early in a relationship. And everybody is different the way they express themselves, and you and I are obviously different. Yes, people can have different love languages, but guess what? People with different love languages can still be together and make it work when they're not given ultimatums and being pressured. I wait for the right time to say and do certain things, but it's not like I don't think about it. I care about you. Obviously, a lot more than you can see, but every time I start opening up, you're on me about something random. I'm not pointing my finger and telling you this is your fault, because that would be idiotic on my part. But I'm asking you to just relax and let us play out like a normal couple. Yes, you should not have all this stress and timelines and deadlines. Says we care about each other more than just friends. We are obviously very attracted to one another. So he didn't call you ugly and worthless there, did he? And finally, we both have the same goals in regard to our relationship. I'm sorry you feel that, but that's ridiculous. You would cause so much pain if you ended your life. You need to work on you. If you wanted an us, which I've always stated, he cared about you. If you just relaxed and acted yourself instead of trying so hard, would probably be different. Focus all that energy, trying energy, into fixing yourself, because it benefit not only you, but everyone. We all care about you and want to see you happy and succeed, which is why we spend so much time this weekend. I don't want to be forced to move in somewhere because of finances. I want to make sure we are both ready. I really care about you and am contemplating the move. I really care about you and I'm thinking in the present. So they search these terms, the care about me or care about term, because this shows all the times he cared about you and told you he cared about you. Care about you a ton and obviously want to be with you, but part of me is beyond tired of your nagging. I don't want to keep dealing with the same questions from you on a daily basis on top of the other ridiculous shit you say to me. We've already said that. I don't care about this anymore. I care about you. That's about the watch and it being fake. I care about you as well. Darling, I really care about you. I'm looking forward to our future together. Let's chat this evening when we are in person. Haha, okay. All good, darling. Hey, didn't have my phone on me earlier, and it's been charging the last hour. I'll see you bright and early in the morning, and we will hang out for the day and night. So he's going to spend the entire day with her. So nice. I'm sorry you're not feeling well, darling. Get some rest, and we will have a good day tomorrow. Darling, I said, I guess that makes sense. I'm not calling you out or saying it in a negative tone. From my point of view, it doesn't make sense. So I looked at it from your shoes and I said, I guess I can see that. Okay, Owens says, and this is in July of 2016, was thinking about how nice of a time we ended up having last night when you came over. Okay, we already read that. Good morning, darling. I loved reading this and think it will be the best decision for both of us. I had a great time as well last night and this morning. Smiley face. Let me know when you're headed out this way and I will meet you beforehand. I'll talk to you later, darling. What do you mean about being hard? I'm here to support you, darling. I'm sorry you feel sick, darling. Hey, darling. Owen says, so grateful for you. Just thinking about how much I appreciate and adore you. He says, Marraccini says, hey, darling, thank you so much for that. Miss ya. How's your day going? Hey, darling, I just finished and am exhausted. I'll see you in the morning. If I leave by 10, I'll be back by 1. Hope you did well in the competition today. So she had a horse riding competition. I'm good, darling, but the real question is, how are you? Then she says, I'm just so sorry for all the stupid, aloof, bitchy, annoying shit I've been doing lately and how annoying and needy I have been. To think I almost could have lost my life and not been on great terms with you absolutely kills me and puts everything into perspective. Does it? You mean the world to me, and I never, ever want to lose you. And I will be so much better to you. Marraccini says, don't worry about that, darling. Darling, I really care about you, and I'm looking forward to our future together. Let's chat this evening when we're in person. Hey, darling, I wanted to check and see how you were doing this morning. Everything good on your end? Miss you, darling. How you doing today? She says, thank you for coming to see me last night. It meant a lot. Love you so much. He says, no problem, darling. Miss you too, darling. Like, yeah, he's so awful here. Okay, and then this is the radio part of it. Also, I'm still at the station, but I just got off the phone with my entertainment agent. I sent him a couple of photos of you, plus the second panel we did yesterday afternoon. He listened this morning. He's super excited. He thinks that you have the look and natural voice for radio, and he's 100% no BS. He's really excited to hear what we come up with. He said he thinks it being a big national thing rather than just a local. Yeah, okay, sure. He also wants to send a cameraman next week to follow us a bit because he has a couple of ideas. If we wanted to do this as a talk show on TV, it was the best call I've had with him. He definitely hasn't been that excited before. Okay, so Marraccini says, I have a question for you, and it's pretty serious. When you talk about me to your boss and agent, how do you explain me? I also understand this is your show. So if anything was to ever happen, I would walk away with no questions asked. Your family has built a radio empire, and I wouldn't want to jeopardize that. Yeah, doesn't sound like he's pushing to be on the radio like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Let's go. The reason for asking is I don't want to be involved in the process, as I want it to be looked at as a professional and not writing a coattail because I've never even asked for this. And you just set it in my lap. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool opportunity if anything was to come about, but I don't want to be the guy being dragged, which is understandable. So I just talked to the guy and he said that they will make it so we do 3:30 to 4:30, and then the timing will be great for picks. Owen says that. Marraccini says, perfect. By the way, this is my entertainment agent who is interested in pitching you and I for TV. Okay. Great for you. Mm. Why can't Marraccini ever talk to the guy? Because he doesn't exist? Hi, I just wanted to write something out to you rather than say it over the phone, so you always had it. Okay, so she likes everything to be documented as well. Great. After talking to my boss and agent today, I'm really feeling like you and I have an opportunity that anyone our age would kill for. As they both said, with the backing and support, a really well respected station like KGO, we could take this as far as we wanted to if we do it the right way, whether that's nationally syndicated radio show in the future or a TV talk show down the line. Can you imagine her hosting a talk show? Oh my God. No, nobody would ever get interviewed because they couldn't answer the questions because she'd just be asking them like back to back. The money and the benefits down the line as well as just knowing we would be helping people would be enormous for both of us. Anyway, I know we are both very smart and driven on our own, and together we can each other to really motivate the other person to do our best. I'm going to give it 150% because she speaks in percentages, which means I wanted to let you know that I completely want you to be yourself. I just wanted to promise you I won't take what you say on the air or hold it against you as my tendency might have been in the past. Yes, you will. You will start a fight as soon as you get off the air if you're not already kind of throwing a tantrum on air. Because your face says it all. Like your face does not hide how you were feeling. Like you really need to work on that if you're trying to hide it. That's the only way for this to be successful. The only way for it to be successful is not to have you be a partner to anything. It's such an opportunity for us. I think it will work together and we have fantastic partnership. It's such an opportunity for us. And I think if we work together, we can have, I want to be the best girlfriend and co-host for you as possible. And I just wanted you to know I am so excited that they saw your talent and that I will do everything in my power to make sure you shine. Just don't outshine her. Just be yourself. Don't feel like you have to monitor your words for the sake of not upsetting me. And everyone, including me, will love you for it. The income potentially for us, if they use this option to syndicate, could be $500 a year to start, according to my agent. So I don't want a little tiff like what we had on the phone to turn into something big and start us on the wrong path. I like where we have been going in our relationship and with work. Both are exciting. So will you accept my apologize and can we agree to move forward with this? Okay. That is in June. So they still have not been together for very long. And she wants to start this thing with him. Like, don't bring this into a new relationship. Or that was in, yeah. Or maybe that was just, no, that was December. My bad. Sorry. Okay. Marraccini says, Laura, the money is good, but it won't be worth the stress and anxiety if we're constantly getting into it. I will accept your apology, but this is a little scary in regards to your old habits. I wasn't expecting immediate change overnight, but this is the exact thing I was talking about before being my biggest pet peeve. No matter how good the money is, I would choose happiness over all of it. Owen says, do you want to do Hussy next week? I just spoke to his PR person. Marraccini says, it's not my show. You choose. Owen says, my boss is clear that it will be 50-50 in a collaboration even during tryouts, so I don't want to do anything without running it by you. As of this second, we are doing the show as if it's not mine. Does that make sense? Did you buy followers for relevant radio? Whoa. I might have to give us a boost. They were supposed to be American. I'm going to be out tomorrow, so see you tomorrow night. Thank you for being so open and honest and letting me into your world a little bit more. It means a lot. I'm going to be getting you updates tomorrow on the radio stuff and see how much I can push for a good salary for you. Like, he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't care. She goes on to say, lying in bed with you this morning felt so incredibly loved and cared for, more than I've ever felt before, and it was amazing. I want a million more of those and know they will come. I'm hoping you know how much I care about you. Yeah, he does. You tell him like 20,000 times a day, which is okay. Like, if you like that sort of thing. And just want the best for you. I want it to be radio, but if that's not what your heart is drawn to, I would support you, even though it would be hard for you. I'd just support anything you wanted to do because I think you're genius, hardworking, and talented at everything you do. Anyway, the point of this is to tell you how genuinely selfish have developed feelings that I wanted to share with you. I love you with all my heart, not because something or resume to. Sorry, Buttons got that last part. So Buttons is texting Marraccini now, the doggy. Running a couple late, just got off the phone with David. Didn't expect him to call. Good God. Okay. I talked to David a bit ago over the phone. All I sent him was Heather Jarvis segments. He said we sound super connected, and if we can even pull it together more, he feels ready to take it to McVeigh, but he's very pleasantly surprised by what we've already done. He's thinking salary could be $150K plus benefits for you now, and it just depends on what McVeigh's reaction is. Going forward, I just wanted to make things clear on my side that as this super opportunity becomes closer to getting the national syndication spot, that I don't want to be your friend and co-host. If we're doing this, I don't want any murky lines that could have been avoided initially. If we're honest with our feelings, I want to be going on this adventure with you as my boyfriend. So here's his ultimatum. This is another reason she probably wants him to do the show with her, because they will have to spend more time together. They will work together, and then they can be together, right? Just everything she can just be in his presence all day, every day, which is creepy. If you don't feel comfortable being over the top about it, I get it, but we'll come off a lot more confident and our connection will be deeper if it's past treating each other like a coworker. No, not necessarily, because you can do really well with a coworker if you got the chemistry. You don't have to be in a relationship to have chemistry. If that's not satisfactory to you, I will take a step back and let you and my dad do arrangements for the radio yourself and work it out, whatever. This is a huge week to make things explode. I'm devoting all of my time this week to this show. I want to work as a team and make this fun and romantic too, but if you're feeling like when I go to hold your hand that your reaction is to drop it, restart, then support it and show we're a team, maybe there's an issue. I'm just trying to be smart. We are so close to contract, and as uncomfortable as this is, it has to be discussed. Like, she's just pushing all of this crap on him. We are going to finish up with this section, and then we'll do part 2 another day. Whenever this nonsense ends. Okay, she says, and are you done with the radio after tomorrow for sure? I spoke with David today while he had a break in LA, and he said he didn't get the vibe from you. Marraccini says, you talked to David about it? She said, yep. We talked for like 2 minutes when I was seriously driving. Oh, like, seriously? Sorry. Okay. Marraccini says, I'm going to start interviewing with other companies starting on Monday. I will keep doing this while I interview, but if nothing happens by the time I find my job, then I will take something in real estate or tech. Owen says, I understand that is a smart move, but David got me so reinvigorated. Marraccini says Coolio. Like, he really doesn't give a crap. He said that KGO is spring training, I feel. Marraccini says, I don't know how you say that when they are paying you $250,000. Owen says, how I say what? I'm begging them to move this along as quickly as they can. Do you can get something started. Anyway, hearing my friends talk about their situations made me realize how lucky I am to have you. I can very clearly see us together and very clearly see us being successful. We make a good team and I adore you. Does anybody talk like this? She really is something. I hope these men can sue her. I mean, the attorneys have all the info, don't they? It's all very straightforward. She lied over and over and over. Absolutely, Henrietta, she did. I just don't know if it's too late to fight this. I mean, they can civilly sue her, like start new lawsuits, but I think the old ones, I don't know if they can do anything about it. Now he can fight the second, this, because the restraining order is going to be ending soon, and it's going to be needing to be, she's going to try to redo it on him, and so maybe that can get it to stop. But she's definitely going to refile, because she'll be like, oh, well, while he was on this restraining order, he showed up in court, even though he had a subpoena. Like, and he didn't need to be there. Well, that is, and Marraccini will have a lot to work with, but I don't know if that's going to change anything with the past. It sucks, because she has gotten away with this. And I think Marraccini deserved better representation, and he just didn't have it. Because he is just like, whatever makes this woman go away, she's exhausting. And she is. Like, there's more to go over in this part 1, but after this part, like, I'm like, no, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, because she just keeps nagging. So women, don't do this. Just don't do any of this. It's not healthy, and nobody likes it. She says, I just heard from David. Let's plan on talking to him on a conference call Monday once he has listened to a couple more files I have sent him. Is that okay? She sends a screenshot, which anybody can create this. All she's got to do is save a contact with the name of David and do this. Laura, I've caught up at work since being away. I will listen to over the weekend. I did have a conversation with Justin Whitmire, who is bullish on you and Mike. That's very positive sign. I don't know what bullish is. Super. That is so wonderful to hear. I will let Mike know the news, and maybe we can I'll talk on the phone after you've gathered some thoughts on the new stuff we sent. I know you are so busy, and I really appreciate what you are doing for us. And then this David supposed person says, just make sure you and Mike keep the Justin conversation to yourselves. Don't want to jinx it or spook him. Okay. Mike Marraccini is not going to say crap. It's Owens that does all the talking. As I say this, he writes this. My bad. Spoke too soon. What did I do? You didn't do anything. Just leave me be. I don't want to talk right now. Owen says, I can come pick you up right now. Is this the same day? No. Okay. Wait, it is the same day. He doesn't want to talk to you right now, but you're going to come pick him up right now. And we can go talk to Mike, Anthony at the station, or talk to David on the phone now. I'm happy to talk to either, or let you after you just hung up on me and have been so cold to me. It's super upsetting to me. You have literally no idea what a huge deal that thing is with Justin, and you just keep shrugging it off. That's absolutely enormous. It's not like I can just snap my fingers and get you a six-figure deal. David really thought nothing of us being together, and I never would have told him if I wasn't asked directly. I didn't think to lie to him. Really? Because you think to lie to everybody else. If you don't want to wait till Monday to talk to David, that's fine, but I really don't deserve to be treated like I'm the bad guy when I have tried to be your biggest ally and supporter during this time. Marraccini says, I told you I don't want to talk, and you have called me 7 times in 2 hours. I wanted to relax in my house and do nothing. For some reason, you don't get that and keep asking if I want to call or meet people. Also, it's been 3 months of this radio gig, not 1 week. I'm tired of talking about it and see no action, which is why I'm frustrated. I don't know why. I'm always having to talk with you about it when it's not you writing a check. Yeah. He wants to say something to him, but he doesn't ever get to because he don't ever get the phone numbers. She keeps them all. She does all the communicating. Owen says, I didn't know you didn't want to talk on our first call and you hung up on the second, which is why I tried calling you back 3 times. You don't need to call him back 3 times. He sees that you called. He'll call you back when he sees it. That's the purpose of caller ID, that you don't need to call 20,000 times. We see it. I didn't know what had precipitated that. I am trying to ask if you want to talk or meet with people today because you are questioning me about everything. And as you said, I'm not the one writing the check. David is huge, a huge deal in radio. And even my dad tries to save his calls for only when he really needs it, since he is so busy and doesn't usually answer his phone. He communicates mainly by text, given that my dad told me that David was dealing with a huge issue between him and Cumulus and having to involve the union in it. I didn't want to push him to talk to us about the show today. I figured we could save time by having us both talk to him on Monday and letting him focus entirely on the situation with my dad today. I've never once stopped you from going to Mike at the station and talking to him. But like I said to you, David didn't even think KGO was the right fit for us for the long term, and that it wasn't a great use of our time to focus on the local market. That will limit us going forward. No, it won't. You can be local, grow there, and then go national. Now we are finally ready with a great podcast and proving ourselves on a live show, so we can move forward. We only did the live show Monday. We were gone Tuesday through Thursday, and today is Friday, so I don't know how anything big would have gotten done between then and now. Anyway, I thought it was easier to have me as a buffer between KGO, David, and you, since I know all the players involved. Of course you do. But it's fine if you wanted to do all of that on your own going forward, or if you just wanted to do it at all. Totally up to you. I'm not going to be the bad guy anymore, though. It's really not fair to me when I have been the only one trying to help and have nothing but your best interest at heart, as does my dad, who has tried to help put in a good word everywhere he can. Like, she is planning all this stuff and he just doesn't get a say. Like, she never cares about what he has to say. Like, he says it and she just goes in and out. Marraccini says, I'm not asking you for you to stop. I am asking for a guy who is supposed to be representing me to reach out. You're overthinking this and need to take a chill pill today. Like, he's frustrated and pissed off. This is not abuse, though. Like, he's just frustrated. Like, he supposedly has an agent or whatever, but he doesn't. So, let's see. He wrote this. David, you're a very busy individual, so thank you for taking the time to write such a detailed email. Thank you for your transparency and honesty. All I ever hear from the Owens family is how good I'm doing, so I appreciate the constructive feedback. I have come a long way since the first interview and continuing to improve on a daily basis, but I know I still have a long way to go. I also think you said it perfectly in regards to The Ben Zorn follow-up question. I need to focus more on listening to the individual instead of looking at my next question and following the agenda. Learning how to engage individuals and having a cue, a natural flow is something I want to great at aka Stern and Owens. Since you have been candid with me, I would like to do so with you. I disagree that I am being impatient, to be honest. I don't know how I can be more patient since being in radio since late November. I have followed everyone's guidance, Laura, Ron, and you, and is constantly pushing forward, which is something I really respect. With that being said, I have very different reasons for being impatient. She's impatient because we are not live on a daily basis, which doesn't bother me since I know we're not ready. I think we still have a lot of improving to do before they kick someone off the air and put us on. The reason I'm impatient is because there is zero direction from KGO and I'm not being compensated. Yeah, he's doing work for free. My only interactions with members of KGO have been with Mike Anthony, which consisted of, hello, it's nice to meet you. Like, what is she going to do if everybody was to get on a call? Like, who's going to play David if he is not real and she's doing this? Like, I know that's alleged, but like, who was going to be on the phone call when he tried to talk to her? That's why I need to be an email and text, and she needed to be the go-between. But like, this Mike Anthony person doesn't even seem like he's actually involved in any of it. My other interaction with him is when we were getting kicked out of the studio because all the conference room were being used. I honestly understand how rare this opportunity is, but there comes a time where reality sets in and bills need to be paid. Like, maybe he has put off getting a job because Owens has told him about this opportunity and how much money he's going to make with this. So he's been doing this. And that's why he hasn't gotten a new job. Not because he's trying to be a bum and live off of her. He obviously doesn't want to do that. Bills need to be paid. I have always been a hustler and admire your drive and how successfully you have become by pushing and advocating for top talent. Never once has anyone ever walked in and said, hey, those interviews were good, but you should focus on this next time. I don't care if they came in and told me that the interviews were terrible, because at least it would show me they are listening. I truthfully don't think one member of KGO has listened to any of the interviews. With all that being said, Laura is very optimistic and wants me to keep pushing forward with, but she is currently paid a great salary and I do not have money coming in. I want this opportunity, but I also know my worth, and interviewed today with venture backed, solid company with substantial base salary and bonuses. I think I have been patient, but I can't wait much longer to accept a new position. Could the station put forth any compensation as a goodwill gesture to keep me going? I hope I'm not out of line, but I want to be transparent with you as well. Sincerely, Marraccini. Like, I think that is very well written. He doesn't want to be a mooch. Oh Lord, what is this? Okay. Since you agreed to hear me out, I wanted to send you a note. I have told you this repeatedly, but every day I'm thinking of anything I can do to make you smile, improve your day. Oh, this is Owens. I was hoping it was a reply to that email, but no, it's just Owens. Side you choose, the bad one. After our conversation tonight, I see you view me as selfish, booking trips for my own benefit, insecure drama, having these conversations because you think I enjoy them, manipulation, always trying to think of ways to lock you in. Yep, you do. Pregnancy, radio shows, unaliving yourself, like something. And a liar. You have been open with me and you think I have lied about the radio station situation when I have only told you what I have been told and have no control of David and whether or not he calls, texts, or emails. So maybe he didn't write him back? Like if you're going to put on this facade, like, email the people back. Like, he's doubting it all because nobody seems to know about it and nobody's talking about it. So Owens and him are like the only ones that actually know about this radio thing. His status as an agent is intimidating to me, and I don't want to change his positive view of me by trying to push him. Oh, but you'll push everybody else in a relationship, but not him. These are all horrible qualities, and no one has ever questioned my intentions like that before. If anything, I wear my heart on my sleeve too much, and I'm horrible at hiding my true emotions. Yeah, you are. Meanwhile, I literally always try to see the good in you in every situation and have a hard time thinking you could ever be the bad guy. Yeah, but you say he is. After my 26 years, this is the conclusion that I have come to. The point of our relationship is to be your partner's number one advocate, to look for the best in them, but also be honest enough to tell them when they're not being that way, to show them appreciation, have things to look forward, and moving in a forward direction at all times so that you are always working to help the other one achieve individual goals as well as being the best couple you can. You don't need to be the one pushing everything, like controlling it all. Feeling unaliving was the most terrible feeling I've ever had in my life. So embarrassed, sorry to my family members. High goals and standards, set myself up, and I'm proud of the progress I have made. I truly feel more confident than I have ever in my life. Completely understand my actions have consequences. No, you don't. But I want someone to believe in me unless I prove to them otherwise. You constantly seem to doubt me and say you can't emotionally trust me. And I don't know if or how I can ever prove you wrong. As things stand, I feel like I have zero control of my future because everything is resting in your hands. No, it's not. Your future isn't in anybody's hands. Your future is in your own hands. Go make it happen. Stop depending on everybody else to make your future what you want it to be. Obviously, no one knows what is going to happen in life, but I don't want to I do want a consistent, growing, and loving relationship. And it can, but let it do it naturally. Don't push it. Lessons on how not to be toxic. I want to help people who were in my situation in the past. I want to have standards for myself and to be with someone who respects me. Then, or when you are so adamant that you don't want it, to have it to be known to your closest friends, let alone social media, which matters only to me because it's symbolic of how you view me, that you are with me, it greatly hurts me. Well, he doesn't want to do that. So get over it. Not everybody wants all their business out on social media. It makes me feel discouraged and disrespected. I'm so proud of the person you are now and who you are trying to become in the future, and have so much respect for you because of that. If the situation were reversed, I would be the biggest supporter and do everything I could to let you know how special you were to everyone and how much I believed in your ability to learn and move past such a horrible situation. And if you gave me your word that it wouldn't happen again, I would believe you. Because he hasn't given you any other reason to do this, like to distrust him. You have lied about so many things, and he knows it. There's a reason he doesn't trust you. I completely love you, Mike, and regardless of whether or not we work out, I know my feelings for you have always been honest and genuine, even if you question them. I know that you aren't there with me on feelings, and it's been hard for me to believe that because mine have been so strong. I feel hurt and want to move forward in a better direction with you than we have gone before. Anyways, I realize this is a long text, but needed to pour my heart out. Go talk to your therapist. Oh, Lord, he's responding. All right. Marraccini says, okay, this is going to be hard to respond to, but I'll give it my best shot. Your first paragraph is incorrect. It's plain and simple. I think you're very generous and always wanting to do something fun, which is why you book the trips, but you usually do it without me knowing or chatting to me about it. Iceland. Okay, we've read that paragraph. The relationship, if you love me. You know, them going places. You lied about pregnancy. First, I'm glad you understand that your actions have consequences. It doesn't think. I know you love me. I really care about you, which is why I still want to keep seeing and spending time with you. I think we connect in a lot of ways, that we have more pros and cons. I just need to take a step back and relax when it comes to you pushing me towards what you want. Yeah. All right. So that we've already read. So it says, Owen says, okay, well, I will work as hard as possible in the radio stuff because clearly that's a quick way to six figures. Owen says, my dad is going to try to work on your stuff for the radio tomorrow. But I told my dad that lending home upped your offer by a lot. And so he said he felt like he should back off on the radio since he came on so strong initially. When he started working on this for you yesterday, he felt bad that he pushed people on it when you probably won't do the radio anyways. Because I just said to him that realistically, it sounds like you would make more money than $100K with this company, and that you would probably take that over possibly $100K from KGO, because this would be an instant contract. And I totally listened when you said KGO was your top choice. I just don't know if my dad should pull out all the stops or if you're leaning towards something else. He says, I told you not to say anything. Once again, she doesn't listen. She said, I just said a strong possibility. I just don't want my dad to look bad if you pick something else. And so at least now he has warning. Jesus Christ. Okay. Owens continues and says, Jesus, I'm trying to protect my dad's rep. And I have your best interest at heart at the same time. All I wanted to do was make sure he wasn't sticking his neck out for you. If you had decided in your mind that you would take the lending home job, like, oh yeah, he knew, but he never has job offers and he just lies about him and all these offers when he actually did have those. But you said he was just using you. But he's like, I have other job offers. I'm looking at other things. I don't want to just put all my eggs in your family's basket or with you. You specifically said to me yesterday that you were going to raise it quite a bit and that if they hit your number, you were going to take it. You said your mom and sister told you to take it. You got it because radio was taking too long. I don't think you understand that I have never asked my dad to do a favor for me on something like this. I doubt that. And I don't want him to stick his neck out and ask for it if you weren't 100% sure you were going to take it. Well, then maybe y'all should have had an adult conversation and made sure everybody was on board and you actually had a plan instead of just winging everything. Because some people can't work like that. Because my dad is needing to negotiate with the station on his own contract for next year. And I didn't want him to piss them off by asking them a favor and then you decline an offer. That would embarrass him and piss off the station. I have had your best interest at heart since day one, and it's super upsetting that you don't see that. Well, it's super upsetting that you don't understand where he's coming from. He wants to work, and it's not working with you. No matter whose fault it is. When I directly asked David if we were in a relationship, when I was directly asked by David if we were in a relationship, it caught me off guard. I said yes and told the truth. It's not like he would say anything to the station, but as an agent, I really can't lie to him. It's never been brought up since then. Imagine that. I don't know what to say if you legitimately think I'm trying to screw you here. I have always cared deeply for you, and my actions have shown that. I'm trying to look out for your best interests as well as protect my dad's. And I don't feel like you're trying to portray me as a bad guy, or you're trying to portray me as a bad guy for doing that. I'm very, very, very upset. And Marraccini says, that is the dumbest text, and it makes zero sense. I agree. You're obviously not looking at my best interest. I told you if they hit my numbers, I'm going to take it, in case the radio doesn't go through. I don't get how you come up with the other stuff. You're effing ridiculous. And both my mom and sister said I shouldn't tell you anything anymore because it keeps backfiring. Well, I'm glad your mom and sister see how toxic she is. I'm just tired of tired of you going out of your way to do this. It's the second time it's happened, and I'm really pissed this time. Well, see, his tone and language has changed. That's not usually how he talks to her. That's still not abuse. So Owen says, I don't get how you don't understand that all I told my dad was the lending home was going to significantly raise your offer. So they offered him something. They really wanted him. So then they offered him even more because that's how bad they wanted Marraccini at their company. He's trying to get it so they talk to you seriously about giving you an offer ASAP this week. It's been going on for a while. And they still don't offer him nothing. Marraccini says, I don't know how you get this text, which I've repeated at least 20 times. I said I can't turn this down if they hit my number and radio isn't guaranteed. Owen says, I understand that, obviously. And then he said, I've always said radio is number one. Then why say anything to your dad? Nothing has changed at all. Don't really know how not to make you angry at this point. Well, maybe stop doing things behind people's back. Marraccini says, just admit what you did was not the right thing. Owen says, my dad is going to talk to David after his work lunch. Miss you. Is this on the... No, this is the next day. Okay, I was like, man, bipolar right there. Miss you. Did my dad text you about the call with David? He was going to after dinner, but he had a lot of wine, so wasn't sure. Marraccini says, nope, he didn't get that message. Okay, this is our last page of texts for this. I really want to get the radio. I'll talk to my dad tonight. It's very important to me that you get it. I think it would make you happier and less stressed. I think you not being in his life would make you less stressed. If you had a choice between radio with me or starting on sportscasting, what would you do? Asking for a reason. Also, I just keep thinking about how fantastic our relationship can be if we both just work on planning one date a week for each other. Good God. You should learn to communicate and listen first before you worry about the dating. And how I am completely and totally in love with you. You have my heart always and forever. Love bombing. Marraccini said, I would feel so comfortable talking about sportscasting that I would probably do that. I love being on radio with you, but I have a passion for sports and I'm super knowledgeable. Marraccini says, did you pay the photographer or do you want me to pay? Once again, he's not trying to bum off of her. Owen says, also, I paid Octavio on Venmo because Owen says this on Venmo and because PayPal was going in circles on my phone and didn't have my computer. I'm wondering if we should have move interviews to tomorrow and work on figuring out name, website, photos, and put up the interviews we have already done today. Think that might be the best use of our time. I'm sorry for the editing the wrong pick. I was going off the file numbers you gave. Favoriting them on the website is the best way to avoid these types of mix-ups. Okay. I'm currently at my 9 to 5 right now, but you can get the image tonight. Sorry, I can't be faster on my turnaround, but my normal delivery is 2 weeks from the shoot. I usually charge an expedited fee for this sort of thing. So that's apparently the message that the photographer person sent about those things. All right. So we're going to take that down. Let me make sure that there is, nope. Okay. And we're going to remove that. All right. So we have gotten through 10 declarations because we started with declaration 5 and we went through declaration 15. We still have a little bit more to go through on part 1. I'm hoping I still have part 2 stuff up on my laptop so that we can still have all that in case I cannot find that Redditor. Because when I looked it up, it said something different, but I'm hoping that was all wrong. So thank you for joining me. Hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell so you know when we're going live. I am going to be on vacation next week. I am going to try to pre-record some more videos to get them out so that at least we have 2 videos next week while I'm gone. But I will see y'all guys next time. Have a good night.